Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and I'm in West Bromwich. There's some, over the years there's been some really weird and strange alterations to roads, none more so than Bull Lane and Albion Road here in the Albion area of West Bromwich, not far from Grits Green. Bull Lane was the main road that would take you from Albion Road right up onto Wood Lane in town, but this was before Brandon Way was constructed. Well, the newer part, which would have been running from the top of Albion Road right up to Wood Lane. The old part of Brandon Way, I'm not sure when it was constructed, but that was it was built in two sections, if you like. So I'm going to show you where the old Bull Lane used to run and what's up there these days. And also I want to take you down Albion Road to show you the continued demolition and restructuring of the old factory of JB&S Lee's, as work is now well underway in converting it into industrial units. Just start the walk here by this post box here with Piercy Street just in front of me, and this road is Wood Lane, and that would take you, if you continued down here, but you'd end up in Great Bridge, and if we went up there we'd take you up to West Bromwich town, and we're just here. There used to be a pub called the Oliver Cromwell. Who remembers the Oliver Cromwell? Now it's called Cromwell House, and the pub itself had been here since 1861 and demolished in around about 2007. So what we're going to do is we're going to just continue our walk along here, Wood Lane, and we're going to take a left at Brandon Way. This is Piercy Street, and it will take you onto Bull Lane, which is somewhere else I'll be showing you. And you can see all this corner, which used to be the Oliver Cromwell's, all been redeveloped now. The run. Just over there to my right we can see the what was once the Bush Inn. A pub had been there since 1872, but the old one was demolished and that one was rebuilt in 1937. Consisting now of a Wood Lane Community Centre. I can see the word salon on the front, and we've got a business centre and a training centre just here as well on the end of the building. There's Copson Close, and this one is Millwood Street. And we've got Claypick Lane there just to the right. Now, we did a video of Claypick Lane. George Salter School at the top. Synonymous with a bit of mining up there, and just as you can see we've got Grits Green Road ahead of us. Well, we're taking a left here, Brandon Way, just show you down Claypick Lane, and there's the Bush Inn. Now this is where Grits Green Road begins. So this is Brandon Way, entrance to Bull Lane, and it would continue over there. See where all those cars are parked? By that factory. That used to be part of the old Bull Lane, and so you would the road would enter there, and you'd road would cross over to that side. This ahead of me now would be like a sort of fields. And you can still see just in the distance there where there is a kind of a roadway just over there. So that would be Bull Lane. And it would be kind of running parallel with me now. And if I just show you here to the left, this is Bull Lane now. But Bull Lane, this is This is truncated, this bit, always has been anyway, but there's some new houses just here. And just if I could show you now where the old Bull Lane now would cross would cross from over there now, cross this part of the new Brandon Way, and would join this bit here. Just on this bend here. And so this is where you would have this is where the cars and vehicles would come down here, the main Bull Lane. As you can see here, look. It's part of the old Bull Lane that would have gone over there, which I showed you. And it would have swung around the factory over there. So it's kind of a bit of an arc shape, if you like. And then the vehicles would be, all the traffic would be running along this bit now. Now Bull Lane is very quiet now, but not back in the day. Now they want to tell you that this is called the bungalow. Look, you got the bungalow next to the white door, and you got the bungalow on the side door there, and it's got the bungalow on the wheelie bin, and also you've got the bungalow Bull Lane painted on the gate. What an absolute eyesore all this writing is. I'm not sure if it's lived in now. I mean, to look at it you wouldn't think so, would you? But it looks a very old place. And this is Millwood Street, which if you went down there you would join with Wood Lane. It looks a bit scruffy, doesn't it? There's a bit of rubbish lying around, but there's like pathways to lead you over to the new Brandon Way and all its factories along there. It's a Thursday morning, and Thursday morning round here means bin day. Here's Piercy Street. Again, if you went up Piercy Street, it would lead you onto Wood Lane. You saw it comes out by the side of what was the Oliver Cromwell. Now, can somebody tell me if this place still opens? It's now it was the Royal Naval Association, a public house that was built here. I think it used to be known as the Albion Tavern. But it all looks closed down now to me. Became the Royal Naval Association in 1972, but it was opened in 1868. There was another pub along Bull Lane. It was called the Bull's Head, but for the life of me, I'm not sure where that would have been. But it did get converted into flats. It closed in around 1950s anyway, so. It's a buffet to sit on if you want. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting again with Bull Lane, because as we head towards where that refuse truck is, we'll show where Bull Lane then deviates to the right, and it also continues to the left, so it kind of forks just ahead of me. Again, where you see all the traffic ahead of me there, that's where this is the new Brandon Way, the newer part of Brandon Way. Bull Lane would have gone straight ahead and joined up with Albion Road. We're just here on this bend. But it would have continued straight on, cutting across where this brand new part of Brandon Way is. And where the traffic is emerging from Albion Road there, that's where it would have joined up with. Just over there, so we're more or less going straight on. Just up there, Bull Lane. But Bull Lane was in two parts. The other part of Bull Lane would have continued along here. And there you go, now it's Bull Lane The old Bull Lane would have joined up here where we've got the Albion Road. Now you can see Albion Road now is staggered now because it ends there, and if you went down Brandon Way you'd have to turn left where those cars are emerging down there. That's where Albion Road is now, but of course that wasn't always the case. So there we got Albion Road, and just show you where Albion Road would have continued. It would have crossed here and joined up here where Bull Lane ended. And you can get an idea because just here, look, you can see where the road used to be. Albion Road would have continued straight on up there. It would have come right through here and gone straight on with Albion Road there. But for some reason, who knows why, but they decided to truncate this bit of Albion Road and create a new Albion Road just there where that van's coming out now. So we'd have to turn right now, come along this part of Brandon Way and down Albion Road. We'll go down that part of Albion Road in a bit and just show you in the distance there where's the Yew Tree pub. That's the new Yew Tree pub. The old Yew Tree pub used to be where you can just see the pub sign there. That's where the old Yew Tree pub used to stand, and there you can see the signage for Bull Lane up there, and this is where the road would have continued. Albion Road would have continued and joined the other Albion Road ahead. I hope that was clear. We all accept now that this is Brandon Way and it's always been here, but that's not the case. Anyway, this part of Brandon Way, I think it may have been constructed 40s, 50s. Right, I wouldn't be too sure on that. But now this is where we go down Albion Road. They tried to make that corner rather attractive, didn't they? They put a few benches there and a few rocks. There's a few rocks here as well. I've come down here because I just want to show you some. Well, before I do, I just want to just mention that the Hamlet Brickworks used to be over there. Yeah, see where all these, those houses just ahead of me there, that's where all the, and you can see in the distance there were all the trees and the grassland there. There's a school up there as well, but that's where the Hamlet Brickworks once dominated that area. I think its official title was the Wood Lane Brickworks. And it was always in a bit of a competition actually, because here on my left, just past this road here on my left, there was another brickworks. It was the Albion Blue Brickworks. This is the Albion area. That was the Albion Blue Brick and Tile Works actually, forgive its official title, where all these like newish type of industry has been built. This is Pennington Close. And now I'm wondering, with Pennington Close, is that related to Jesse Pennington, the famous West Bromwich Albion football player? I'm not sure when he played for Albion, it must have been way back when. Now, I have visited this factory a few months back, because the demolition is still continuing, because they are changing this slowly but surely into factory units, or industrial units I should say. There was the old weighbridge just there in front of that window, and there's a lot of activity on site now, and I'll show you a bit more demolition. I don't think it's going to be wholesale demolition. Just here now, there's a big hole in that wall. Gate number 1. I never remember gate 1 being ever opened, because I used to work here. Gate 2 was always in use. My metal department used to be this side. The lab testing department was just on the left. The bimetal is where you would weld a very expensive strip on a cheap piece of metal to form bandsaws. Not really we can see too much going on here. That was a small office that was just really used for storage, but they're knocking through the walls just here. Look, can't really see too much going on in there because of how dark it is in there. You look through there, there was the production department offices just over there. It was like in a prefabricated office. There's also stationery stores up there as well. You can see there's a lot of work been going on at the rear. Lots of tree shrub clearance, and all these piles of rubble outside the gate to stop the gypsies who were coming on site. This is gate 3. I don't think they can do much with huge offices. I wonder if they could actually turn this into a luxury apartments. This is gate 4. This was the gate where you'd park your car when you worked in these fine 1930s, 20s, 30s building here. And I think you may be able to just see on the top of the door, look, it says the Albion Steel Strip Mills established in 1938. So it says this was the Trident Steelworks this side, and over the canal it was the Britannia Steelworks, and that was their last owners, the Liberty Performance Steels, the company that eventually closed down JB Nestl's. And you can see the bridge, the walk bridge that connected the Trident to Britannia on this side. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to take you down to show you the work that's been undertaken so far in redeveloping this huge factory that, as you can see, dominates the whole length of Albion Road. All of it, all the way down here. And as you hit the traffic lights here, it goes down to Albion Road to the right, and it takes up a fair share of Albion Road just around this corner as well. Albion Road would also continue over the bridge, the Albion Bridge. Beyond Nickel Steel used to be some kind of gasworks. I know we got the famous gasworks up at Swan Lane, but there was also a gasworks just beyond these blue factory units there. These blue factory units. I always see people fishing for salmon down this canal. Well, not really salmon. You wouldn't get salmon in the canal, would you? Most of the works developing this old factory, which has been here since 1852, seems to be on this side. And recently they laid a new roof on that building, and also they've laid a new roof on this one. When JB Nestle's was built in 1852, this was one of the first buildings just here, and it's still standing. Probably the only original bit left of the old factory. It used to be the gatehouse. It was gate 5. As you can see, all drivers and visitors must first report. You can see a scissor crane there doing work on that roof. There's vehicles beyond the gate, and of course this is where all the workers would clock on. There was over 1,000, more than 1,000, 1,500 people would be working here in its heyday. And you can see all the windows up there all boarded now, but that was the old canteen. It looks like there was a door there once, but never remember that being a door. Really, it was just storage, just this back end here. But you can see they've got a whole load of new fencing now on the right. Walls have been demolished, and in this place we've got some new fencing. And also what you will see, we've got a new car lot. This is gate number 6. Another one of those gates you never remember opening. You can see in the distance, look, piles of rubble. And this particular building here, they've knocked all the front out, but that, when I remember that building there, that was let off to another company, and they used it for steel stockholding. Yeah, so at least they're going to make use of that old building. The way they're getting on with it, it won't be long before we know what that little unit is going to be turned into. No, look at this here now. Entrance to what was known as the black warehouse, where raw coils of steel would be stored ready to be used for rolling to customers' thicknesses. And now we've got gate number 7 now as we come to the end of the old JB Leslie's, and it's the Albury Auto Car Sales. We buy any car for cash. And just above there we've also got another sign saying Screed and That Limited. So again, we've got 2 companies in use here on this side. The black warehouse was there ahead of me. And there's a building just there on the right. I think that's as the front of the wall's been taken out there as well. So that could be units. Okay, I'm just looking over the canal here, over this branch, and you can see all this work going on just here just before you take the bend down to Albion Road. And so I'm still here on Albion Road, and you can see work is really getting underway on this side. A lot of demolished walls now, walls taken out, all this roof has been renewed. I can hear pneumatic drills going on in there, so we're looking at this. This is going to be what, at least 3 factory units by the look of it, 3 industrial units. Okay, so there we go. There's a lot of work going on in that factory. It's getting on a lot quicker than I expected. Lots of holes in walls now, so there's going to be plenty of factory units around there. I was rather surprised to see yet another car lot here in West Bromwich. Mind you, the second-hand car market is kind of booming at the moment, so a lot of these people are now taking advantage of selling all these used cars before we all become electrified. And Ball Lane was a lot more difficult to explain than I thought. One of these days I'm going to take a drone up there and show you, give you a better idea of what I mean when roads cross here and cross there and that kind of thing. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. And if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos. I'll see you on the next one.